Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Are you able to hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Hari, for the Kirtan. And so welcome all devotees to the ISKCON Columbus Sunday Feast. And so as we do every week on Sunday at 11 o'clock, we start our Sunday Feast. And the first half an hour is dedicated to Kirtan. And yeah, if anybody else wanted to do that half-hour Kirtan, please contact me and I can definitely schedule you on Sunday. And thank you, Hari, for my accepting my request. And so today's schedule is we have our discourse till 12:30. And today's topic, as you might be aware, is from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and like on 14th is a very auspicious days for Bhagavad Gita, is the appearance day. So, and we have taken a very appropriate verse. So Bhagavad Gita 9.2, the most confidential knowledge. And so the discourse will happen till 12:30. And after 12:30, we have some local announcements. And with that, we'll close. And a couple of few words on His Grace Naveen Krishna Prabhu. To the speaker, he doesn't need any introduction whatsoever. But since we have a couple of new people on the call, I think one person I'm seeing, I don't know if he's new, Parasuram, right?
He's not new Prabhu. He's actually our Degar brother. So Dr. He's here for a long time.
So then he doesn't need any introduction. So yeah, just for everybody's knowledge, then we'll just say that yeah, Naveen Krishna Prabhu, one of the oldest members of our congregation, actually has been there from when our temple has been there, and he's a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So we're very glad to also declare that on Tuesday we have the Vyas Puja celebration. In the local announcements, we'll make that. And so very grateful to you, Naveen Krishna Prabhu, for sharing your knowledge with us. And you can take it from here. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, Prabhu? My voice is clear?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just sing quickly Jai Radha Madhav and then Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradhari Jayo Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Natavara Radha Natavara Radha Natavara Radha Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Jayo Jagannath Jayo Jagannath Jayo Maladeva Jayo Subhadra Jayo Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jayo Jaya Prabhupada Jayo Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jayo Jaya Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanandina Shalakaya Chakshurunvitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripataham Aham Munde Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna dear devotees, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share. It's for my own purification. There are so many exalted devotees here, but it's much better than me. But I just wanted to share as a service to please my Guru Gauranga. So the today's topic is very dear. Most confidential knowledge is actually essence. It's of essence of all essence. We're going to touch base next 30 to 45 minutes, and then we can have. If you have any questions, you can stop me. And then in between, or else we can have a discussion at the end. We'll go up to 12:15, hopefully. Topic is the most confident knowledge, 9.2. Even though I'll touch base with that particular verse, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. In fact, the topic, the Sanskrit name of the chapter 9 is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. In English, Prabhupada translated as the most confident knowledge. And the verse is also 9.2 is Rajavidya Rajaguhyam, Pavitram Vidamuttamam, Pratyakshavāgamam Dharmam Susukam Kartum Ayam. So, and then eventually we'll, at the end, we'll conclude, and then we'll take question answers and discussion. As I already said, 9.2, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idavuttamam Pratyakshavāgamam Dharmam Susukam Kartum Avyam. Translation by Sivangesesi Bhaktivinoda Srila Prabhupada. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives a direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of the religion, it is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed. We'll touch base about the purport is very long, but I'll touch base some of the topics of the from the purport by Srila Prabhupada, and also I will touch base most of the verses from this chapter. There's 30 or 40 verses. Then we'll touch base what is Krishna's trying to tell us, what we understand. We will touch base, and in between we'll have a couple of stories, and then anecdotes, and then some of my own understanding, my own realizations. May not be that important, but I just want to share. So Krishna says here, secret. Guhyam is translated as a confidential or a secret. Krishna used this word secret many times in the entire Bhagavad Gita, many verses, which we will talk about later. But this particular verse has 3 or 4 gradations. Guhyam, Guhyatama, Guhyataram, Guhyatamam, Sarva Guhyataram. Krishna used these words in different context in this Bhagavad Gita. And also recently there was a discussion about this particular topic from Garuda Prabhu, Prabhu, about the secrecy of this. I'll touch base some of the aspect as well from Tattva perspective. Having said that, let's dive into the discussion. So Krishna, we all know, is a supreme personality of Godhead. Is a supreme controller, supreme proprietor. But if we see common things between these three, is compassion. He's very compassionate. So he has the 6 opulences predominantly. All the 6 opulences has one common theme, which is a service. And then this compassionate is the common theme for Krishna's opulence, which is supreme controller, supreme proprietor, supreme enjoyer. It's supremely compassionate. That's reason he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to share with us, which nobody else have done so far. Prema Avatar, in the mood of Radharani. Then now what is the secret? When there's a compassion, there should not be any limits, right? There should not be any boundaries. There should not be any condition. But how come this can go together? When you say compassion and the secrets, and the gradation, Guhetamam, Guhetaram, Sarva Guhetaram. Secret, greatest secret, greatest secret, most greatest secret. So what is that? How do you understand this? How do you reconcile this? So Krishna also said in Isopanishad, Om Purnamada Purnam Ida Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Vasyasate. In translation, we all know that, but I just wanted to connect the dots here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is a complete by himself. Since he's complete, whatever emanates from him is also complete. Many things emanate from him, they're also complete. Even though many complete things coming off from him, he still remains complete. If you take this as a base, so now the secret confidence is also coming from he himself. Many times he says, nobody cannot know me. But however, he says, if you just know Arjuna this, there's nothing else to know. Like, it's a two different paradigm. But how do we reconcile it? Same secrecy also. He himself is a personification of secrets. But everything coming out, it appears to be secret, but he still remains secret. He's telling about himself, and his devotees also describing about himself. But so many scriptures, like there's so many philosophers, Gautama, Kannada, Kapila, Ginavalka, Sandilya, Vaishnava, Vyasadeva. So many people give so many scriptures, verses, but every scripture has some hidden thing which is hidden from the public. At the same time, there's also meaning to tell through the hidden meaning to understand, reading between the lines. So it is so secret yet open for public. It is so open, but it still remains secret. The one who understands that person understood the reality. So having said that, now let's get into the details. For example, let's say a magician makes some tricks. Like, he makes something out of rope or some pack of cards, this and that, so many things. But all the audience will be sitting and watching. What we see is real. He does make them disappear, and it comes from there. So what we see through eyes, what is happening in front of us, Krishna does so many leelas. It is so prevalent, it's so clear, but still we don't get it. For example, Aham Brahmasmi. Krishna says you are not the body of the soul. How many times we read it? But do you really get it? It is open secret. We are not the body, we are the soul. But did we get it? Did we get it, but we really act on it? If we act on it, does it reflect on our actions? In our lifestyle? That's the reason it remains secret. So in that perspective, take further, this discussion further thing Krishna says here is the most confidential because confidential or transcendent knowledge involves understanding between the soul and the body. As I said, confidential because it gives an understanding in the body and soul. We know we are soul, we are in the body, but how do we bifurcate them? Live in such a way that body is also important, more important than the soul. So understanding that it's a secret, but we cannot get it. So that's reason Prabhupada in purport emphasizes that can only be understood when the personality of Godhead Krishna reveals to us. Then why does he reveal to us unless we don't have a qualification? We have to develop the qualification to understand that through which he can impart us. There's two parts. We will discuss a little bit more further as we go. And then why he is doing this? because this knowledge is the purest form of all activities. Activity of the soul, activity of this divine nature in the material world and the spiritual world. And this, when the spirit goes back to spiritual world, what does it do? It's all transcendental and the purest. A person, Prabhupada says, I'm just reading here, a person free from the sinful activities and engaged in the pious activities, being freed from the duality of material world, after engaging in devotion service, they can understand this. But now we also know bhakti is unconditional. We don't need any prior condition, prior qualification. Anybody, anywhere, anyhow, people can get bhakti, provided they're willing to take. So now again, how do you understand this? So Prabhupada says in the purport, aprarabdha phalam papam putam bijam phalanmukham krameneva praliyate Vishnu bhakti rathanam. Devotion service is so perfect that one can perceive the results directly. At the same time, he also says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yesham antagatim papam jananam punya karmanam tedvanda moham muktam bhajante mam dridavataha 7.28. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated or free from the duality of delusion, and thus they engage themselves in service with a determination. So now again it seems to contradict. Bhakti is no condition, but you have to free yourself from all the dualities and then you are eligible to get the bhakti. It is not a secret, my dear devotees. It's not secret, but it appears to be secret as a magician making in front of us disappear the parrot or the rope or this and that. But we know we see it, but we cannot get the point. But we know what's happening. That is the one what Krishna is talking about here. Guhya, Guhyatarama, Guhyatamam, Parama Guhyam. So now we'll talk about that in a few seconds. We'll detail. So now, in context of this particular verse, versus entire chapter. So in the entire chapter, I have written it down. Krishna mentioned the qualification of the person who can understand the bisect his soul and super soul, Krishna divinity, and our nature, and then our boundaries. He says, it is, I'm telling you, Arjuna, because you are non-envious. That is the first and foremost qualification that we can understand. Let's say a magician is doing performance on the stage, and his disciple, who also knows that, and sitting in the audience and watching, he also knows how to do it. So his vision, or you and me sitting right next to him, our vision is different. That's the spiritual master, pure devotees, also seeing Krishna with that vision, because Krishna gave that vision. What they see Krishna Leelas and pastime is different than the people who are sadhaka trying to practice bhakti. They see at the still vision is different, because the qualification is stressing here is non-envious. That is the one of the reason we left the spiritual world and came. Why? We try to become a supreme controller, enjoyer, and proprietor. We want to become Krishna and God. When we transform that back, it's a Krishna-centered life. To please Krishna as a pleasing service to him, when that non-envious will become a love, a preeti, or at least a tendency to serve and develop a genuine service attitude. That the secrecy will be revealed. Esam antakatim papam jananam punya karmana. Many lifetime practicing that, even the good and bad both will be removed. When that happens, the vision of bhakti is the jnana chakshusha, sastra chakshusha, and then it leads to prema chakshusha. Through that, then we can see that secrets. Then Krishna says, what is the result? This most confidential knowledge, realization, will be revealed to soul, and that time they will be relieved from the material existence. Till then, the material existence is holding us, or we are holding that. Through this process of bhakti, the most confidential knowledge will be revealed to us, which will relieve us from material existence. It's not our endeavor alone. It's a combination of soul and super soul. Yeah. Now, why he wants to do it? Then he says in this, if you systematically read entire chapter, few things. This knowledge is the king of the education. Is the most secret of all secrets. So purest of pure. It gives a direct perception of the self by realization. This is the most key. Because it's not like if somebody can say this and that, people give wonderful lectures, people, wonderful book distribution, or trust nicely, or sing Kirtan. It doesn't matter. They do very wonderful. That's good. We appreciate that. But the one has to experience that. It's called experiential. Then when that person speaks, even without tune, or without this and that, then we can connect. Because why? That person experience the divinity within by the all divine personality, since that person is revealed. That is the reason the person can see, that the person who's sitting right next to us, who knows a trick, and they see the trick, their vision is different. Then that person sees the entire world in a different way in that perspective. That is the most confidential knowledge. He's there, we cannot see. He's right in front of, it's too far away. And he's there within us as a Paramatma, but we cannot perceive. He's talking to us, we cannot hear. Because why? We have so many ifs and buts. Then he says, this is everlasting, it is joyfully performed. Every minute in Krishna consciousness, joy you experience when chanting, reading, when you see devotees, when dressing, whatever you do, you feel happy. Thank you very much. That only happens when you're grateful. We are not here to show the world how great we are. We are only change of consciousness while we're in the material world. We are only here to change our consciousness, purify our consciousness, transform that envious nature back to a loving nature. In that time, the mercy flows. Then Krishna says, why we cannot do even the name of bhakti? Why we cannot experience the joy? He says, because we are not faithful. Krishna says, not faithful in the devotion service. Devotion service also become a conditional. I want to do this way. I want to do this way because I get the name, fame, power, influence. I can get this and that. That's the reason when you get that, but you will not get Krishna. When I say you, I'm talking about myself also. We can get Krishna's opulences, but we will not get Krishna. We may be chanting, we may become famous, but there is a hollowness within. That hollowness, later on, he also mentioned it's a fearlessness. Because there's no expectations. I'm not here to prove anybody. I'm here only to serve. It doesn't matter what other things, what I get it. That person is faithful to his guru in the process. No matter, whole world can be against that person. Krishna clearly says, not faithful in the devotion service cannot attain Krishna. He may get the Krishna's perks, or she may get Krishna's perks as a token of appreciation, but not the Krishna. So now Krishna explained. So we talked about qualification, which is non-envious of Krishna. We talked about result. Most confidential knowledge will be revealed, which will be relieve us from the material existence. Why? The knowledge is the king of the knowledge, purest of pure, secret of secrets, direct perception, perfection of knowledge, religion, everlasting, joyfully performed. Then why we cannot? Because there's no faith. Because why? We have filled with our own I, me, mine agenda we have. We have a selective mentality. That's the reason we cannot. So now Krishna says, okay, but at least as long as you are in the path of bhakti, there are a few things he said you can connect. Krishna is always, he's not just only in Radhanatha form in the temple, he's everywhere, but we cannot see. So, but he is giving a vision, he is giving a panoramic vision through which we can, it will be little technical. I'm going to read out what Krishna said, verbatim, word to word, and at the end, we will discuss how Krishna is so merciful, magnanimous, is giving us, but it is we that we cannot access. He says, by me, in my unmanifested form, entire universe is pervaded, which we'll see. All beings are in me, but I'm not in them. Yet, everything that is created does not rest in me. Although I'm the maintainer of all living entities, although I'm everywhere, I'm not part of this cosmic manifestation. Myself is the source of the creation, though. Understand that mighty wind everywhere, I'm like everywhere. How the sky is pervaded everywhere, I'm like this. All created beings rest in me. He said one more time. At the end of the millennium, materialization, he creates, annihilates, destroys, bring it back again. It is working under his direction. So these are the secrets in the most confidential knowledge, chapter 9, Krishna is revealing to us. So now he says, now I'm sharing so many secrets, catch me if you can. Understand if you can. It is there. Like, shotgun. Okay, everybody's looking for money. I'm throwing the golds and diamonds, all these things. Catch me if you can. It is coming, we see, catch, we see nothing. It is coming directly at big diamond. I hold it, thinking, right, diamond, I got it. See, it's not there. Amazing. Then he further says, there is no work will bind me. And he further says, I'm the cause of this moving, unmoving things. Fools will derive me when I descend this human form, will not understand. I'm standing in front of them, that still they cannot see me. Like Duryodhana, when he saw Krishna's universal form, partial universal form, he tried to catch him in Mahabharata, explained in Uddyoga Parva, when he went for a truce. He says, no, I've seen so many magics. I don't believe you. Krishna showed him panoramically what's going to happen, but he still didn't believe. There's not difference between Duryodhana and some of us. I'm talking about myself. We see, but still we don't see. Then he says, those who are not deluded, the great souls, under my protection, they can understand my divine nature. Because they are fully engaged in devotion service. They know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. And they chant my glories. Like that, he went on saying that further, like, I'm the butter, I'm the fire. How many of us, when you see butter, can you see Krishna? Remember Krishna? He's giving the tool. How many of us, when you say drink water, and you remember Krishna? He's giving a tool. How many of us, when you feel nice breeze, we remember Krishna? Isn't that amazing? The secret still open book, but still remains secret. That's what he's talking about. I'm just giving you a few more things here. And then he further says, those who do not recognize my true transcendent nature, he says, they'll fall down. Verbatim, word to word. Those who worship me will live with me. And he further says, if one even offer, even the cheapest thing, or even the poorest person can offer me something. He says in particular chapter, Patram Pushpam Palantam, we all know that. Even anybody, any can do to offer. And even if the person doesn't have anything, they can even offer in the mind. He says, I am beyond Jnana, Karma, and Dhyana, but if they're connected, Bhakti, which is inclusive, supposed to be, then I'm Bhakta Vatsal. He says, I'm not Jnana Vatsal, I'm not Karma Vatsal, I'm a Bhakta Vatsal. Through Bhakti, people can purchase me. So he's making himself so available, even to anybody, to any extent, anyhow, anywhere, giving a secret after secret, so simple for us. Then at the end, he says, if your mind, now having said that, if your mind fixed upon me in the principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me, Arjuna. So he also said, I envy no one, nor I'm partial to anyone, but I'm equal to everybody. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is my friend. He is in me. I'm also a friend to that person. So always engage devotion service. Think of me, become a devotee. And then at the end, he ends this chapter with a final sentence. He says, being completely absorbed in me, like that. When you see water, when you feel the air, when you see like in anything you see, absorb, everything is Krishna's energy. When that person can also see Krishna and deities, doing the non-different. It's not just when you go, that person can see even when you're chanting, you can perceive even holy name. The same thing, other thing I wanted to say, holy name is also Krishna. We are chanting, but how many of us experience Krishna? When you say Krishna is a holy name, he's non-different, but how many of us experience? Because we have a thick tongue, which is infected with so much of aparatus. That's reason we cannot. But however, that is available to everybody. So this is what my devotees, Krishna was talking about, confidential knowledge, which is not confidential anymore. Secret knowledge is not secret anymore, but however, it remains still secret. It can be remain secret for millions and millions and millions of lifetimes. Even if you hold the chant, hold beats and chanting, that remains still secret. Or a person walks in with the right frame of mind in the temple, even the first day, they can get the same mercy right away. The choice is ours. So then Krishna in the form of Bhagavatam, the Rishabhadev, he's talking to his kids, 100 kids, especially to Bharat. They all ask him, you all go to forest, meditate, and then get this devotion service. In that particular verse, he's telling, how do we get this? He says through penances. In other words, in other means of saying that, sadhana. There is no magic. There is no magic. I'll quickly touch base what is sadhana here. So sadhana, which is done with our daily practice, using our senses. Bhakti Rasamrita explain how to please Krishna is using our senses to please Krishna's senses. So using our senses, tongue, eyes, whatever we have it, so use in service of Krishna. So through that service, sadhana, which is actually Prabhupada explains, is called as Vaidhi Bhakti. Devotion service in practice with the rules and regulation. That leads to Ragatmika and Raganuga one day. Ragatmika is actually the state of consciousness where the Vrindavan Vasis is actually attained through the process of Raganuga, which is spontaneous. But we cannot artificially jump there. But through sadhana, Vaidhi Bhakti, we get there, like chanting, fasting, offering food, reading, book distribution. All those things. They're all the do's and don'ts. Then through which we can develop that consciousness. And then in general, I just wanted to say, there are three kinds of rasas. This is explained in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Is also explained by Jiva Goswami in Sandarbhas. So Vishaya Rasa, Brahman Rasa, Bhakti Rasa. Most of us will fall into either of the one. Vishaya Rasa means the people are after mundane sensual pleasure. Anything we do, we have some agenda. We want to be happy. Otherwise, we will not do anything, everything, even relationship, even chanting, even come to temple or distribution or something. There's always some expectation. If that expectation is not Krishna, it falls into the category of Vishaya Rasa, because there's no Krishna. It's a mundane sensual pleasure for my own sense gratification, which is eventually a temporary and will be the same reason to get misery. So this is a category of Vishaya Rasa. Next is Brahma Rasa. That means people, after spending a lot of time in this, they upgrade themselves to the stage where Brahma Rasa. That means they are peaceful, like yogis and Buddhists. They don't hanker. But if it comes, they will not reject. There is a renunciation, but renunciation is also kind of an attachment. There is no, this pressure is also temporary. It brings definitely better than Vishaya Rasa, but eventually it is as good as Vishaya Rasa in a tattva perspective. And the final rasa, which is a Bhakti Rasa, it is clearly mentioned that simultaneously satisfying and dissatisfying. One may ask, how is this dissatisfaction? Because the devotee, they want to serve more Krishna when they get derived a lot of pressure, that simultaneously not satisfied because they want to do more. Same thing, Krishna want to reciprocate with Krishna, gopis or devotees, pure devotee. He is not satisfied, he wants to do more. So this is the competition, transcendental competition. It's called Bhakti Rasa. There's many stages. So there are three kinds of rasas. So then there is one anecdote I wanted to say, one small story. One disciple asked, oh, my Guru Maharaj, you're saying that holy name is a secret. The scriptures are secret. Everybody is reading, everybody is chanting. Today I went outside, people are when they're rickshawala, some rickshaw puller, he was chanting. Then I went there, people are washing the clothes in the cart, they're also chanting. So I'm also chanting in the in front of you, but what is the difference? Then he said that he gave one wonderful or precious jewel to his disciple. He said, go and tell them that this is a precious jewel and show to them, and then capture their responses and let me know. Then he said, disciple said, first he went to Dhobi. He said, I have this. Would you like to take it? He says, yeah, this is very nice. I can use to after washing my clothes, I can heat it on them so that it will become dry. He said, no, this is not meant for that. Okay, I'll take it back. I took it to rickshawala. A little girl actually is pulling the rickshaw. Then she said, what are you going to use it? She said, I can use this for my tie on the rickshaw to show, like, to tie something to show the people, like, to use as a bell. Tang, 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 tang. Okay, thank you very much. Then you show that to the different people. Everybody has a different way of wanting to use them. Then spiritual master said, now we see, you know the value of the jewel, then you know, based on the person and their perception, the state of consciousness, how they receive it, how they use it, how they take it. That's how this is remain a secret, even though it's open for everybody. I hope you got the point here. And in that perspective, it has been explained in Tattva is that we have explained, like, object of consciousness, which we perceive, like, the example of the jewel. My object, since I don't know how do I perceive, the subject of the consciousness, and like a jewel itself is a subject, object is we, and then the stream of consciousness. Stream of consciousness. In this perspective, if you see, we apply this to bhakti. If object of a consciousness is we, sadhaka, the subject of consciousness is Krishna. Then the stream of consciousness can be bhakti. Then it makes a perfect formula. The object is missing, the stream will not be there. The stream is there, but the object is something else. It will take a long time. The subject, you and me, like, what is that? Envious nature, non-envious nature, when become a servant of servant. The stream is there, objective is there, but the subject is there, object, the definition is wrong. We made 1 + 1 = 3, and then we started doing this. Eventually, what happened? Janasya mohoyam ahamameti. So object is Krishna is gone. I may be doing the stream of consciousness as a bhakti, but that's direct into my own self-ego. So it's clearly explained here. So that the jewel will remain a secret. It is though in your hand, it is there, but it remains a secret. I hope you're all getting the point. Step by step, I'm building on it. And then that's where it comes, like, the final topic, where Krishna uses guhyam, which is a secret. It is translated as soul. The guhyam, the state of consciousness, is actually Brahman realization. The Brahman realization can be compared as a guhyam, secret. That means the difference between the soul and super soul. But there is no higher revelations yet. So that's good. Next is the Guhetara, which is a little bit more, which is the Paramatma realization. The built-on Brahman. That means I know I'm a soul, but I also know there's a super soul. And the super soul, not only with me, is also pervasive. That person's Gnana Chakshusha, it's the wisdom, the realization has opened up a little bit more further, they could be able to see it. Jiva Goswami explains very beautifully this. Secret, more secret, the most secret is Bhagavan, which is Paramatma. Sorry, Bhagavan. So there's relationships. Hey, I can trust him. I can sing for him. He's like my father. He's my mother. He's my friend. He's my guru. He's everywhere. That's where we can connect. When you see the water, hey, this is nothing. Krishna said he's taste of water. When he says, I'm the wind. He says, I'm among the demons, I am Prahalad. I'm among the Pandavas, I'm Arjuna. Like, he says so many things. Wherever he gives so many avenues. In that particular state of consciousness, we can connect. That the secret will not be secret anymore. So that's called as a Guhetamam. And then eventually he says further, like, superlative. He used the word in 18.664. Superlative. Sarva Guhetamam. Out of all, secret, most secret. And then even that intensified superlative secret, it's called aspect of Bhagavan. For example, first 2 stages was talking about Uttama Purusha. What is Uttama Purusha? Best, ideal living entity. As Ramachandra is an ideal living entity, as a father, as a mother, as a guru, as a disciple, as a brother, as a king. He established exactly what we're supposed to be. But when it comes to Krishna, he broke all the principles. He lied. He did so many unconventional things. How do you understand this? This is the most of the secrets. It's beyond even Bhagavan. Bhagavan, there is an difference. But the same person went beyond the secret, and that person is come as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, inviting all of us to that secret realm, which nobody else have an access. Only the key is given to all the people who have unmotivated, unconditional, uninterrupted. In other words, serious, sincere, and no ulterior motives. When that person, the key is given. When that person can see Krishna everywhere, and that person can connect to Krishna everywhere. And then there's no conflict between why Krishna is telling lie, where same Rama, to keep up his father's truth, he went to the forest. There's no difference. They have the same personality. But how do we understand this? So that is called Purushottama. Bhagavad Gita explained in 2 verses the difference between Uttama Purusha and Purushottama. Uttama Purusha is like a Ram, non-different than Krishna, but Purushottama is like a Krishna. There is a difference between Bhagavan and the Paramatma. There's a sweet, recently we just completed Damodar month, so much of sweetness. Greatness is there, but in that sweetness, that become most of the secrets. How so supremely powerful, he comes to our home, to our level, and he does the pastimes, leelas, which you and me can relate and talk and share and discuss and experience that. Just imagine tomorrow, the President of United States come to our temple for Sunday feast. He also sit right next to us eating. I hope he does it very nice. I'm just giving an example. Like, can he eat with us and stand with us? How intimate that this person, you have to take so many people be with so much of security. No, he just be with us. He's just talking, joking. Just imagine, just put like that. When Krishna come to that level, he talk to us, he joke with us. That's called the Sarva Guhitamam. That is available for all of us. That aspect of it is called Purushottama, which is different than Uttama Sloka, Uttama Purusha. Though both are same. Same thing, I give an example. Dwaraka Vasis, when they're under Krishna army, when time comes, when Krishna tell them that now you stand in the Kaurava side, I stand in Krishna Pandava side, you fight with me. We are his servants. How can you fight? No, you fight. So when Devaki, they know that all the 8 children will be killed by Kamsa. Krishna inspired, no, let it be. You watch that for me. How a mother can bear the pain of her own child getting killed in front of her. So that is the prize Krishna is expecting. It doesn't come with a normal, like, and it's very easy, cozy. Like, being a fair weather devotee, when things are very, very nice. But even sometimes to understand, to be in that platform, there's a price for that. That is not everybody get to that level. But at least we can see from far away, from the scripture perspective, with the Gnana Chakshusha, that we can at least understand and appreciate. Hope one day we may get there, but at least we can appreciate that. What Krishna is trying to tell us is the Guhya, Guhyatara, Guhyatamam, and the Sarva Guhyatamam. Then how come this chapter is so secret? It is still revealing to us, but still it remains secret. So to conclude this, we discussed about the most confidential knowledge. There's so much of knowledge out there by Krishna and his devotees. So much of literature very out there. Every literature is open, but still it remains secret. The 2 reasons. If you pay attention, if you can take these 2 as a take-home points, then you understand. The Lord keeps a secret about himself from conditioned soul, intentionally hidden. Why? Because he's not compassionate, not like that. Because naturally hidden from him, because we don't have a qualification. but he's also giving the means through which we can get the qualification. When you get the qualification, then our two hands will not be enough to receive his mercy. So that's the reason he gave so many step by process, so many avenues. How do we can see him, perceive him, experience him, learn from him, connect him, but still too far away. So, but still there's a hope. He himself is not different than holy name. So when we chant in that mood, I don't know, please let me know. I wanted to know. What can I do? What pleases you? Pain or shame, pain or pleasure. Doesn't matter what pleases you. That's what I would like to do. If you develop that genuine service attitude, unconditional service attitude, then envious nature, selective nature will become a spontaneous love one day. The spontaneous nature will bring us to that state of consciousness where we can see Krishna everywhere. And in that every susukam patum aviyam. Because so joyfully perform devotional life. Like you feel every celebrate even small things, you're so happy. When you say Krishna, Krishna dance on your tongue, you can experience that. Whatever you do, you can connect. So that, my devotees, I just wanted to share. So 12:16, 1 minute passed. I was planning to complete by 12:15. Sorry about that. That's my, I wanted to share today as part of the Sunday love feast. Now I'll open for any discussions or questions or corrections, please.
Hare Krishna, Babu. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have Rukmini Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you. So this is a very wonderful point, Prabhu. Thank you so much for elucidating. This is a mystery that this is the chapter, the most confidential knowledge, and it's printed in the Bhagavad Gita. And not only is it supposedly it was only given to Arjuna, who is his very dear friend, but not only it was written down, it was printed, and now people are distributing it. And the Bhagavad Gita has been distributed millions and millions of copies all over the world, and we're giving it on the street, and yet how is it the most confidential knowledge? So thank you so much for elucidating that very step by step and analytically and clearly, and also making it, for me personally, making it very clear to me that I have a long way to go, but there's also a lot of hope. And there's a lot of nectar and mercy awaiting. So I wanted to just say a couple things. One is, so you mentioned that in this chapter there are all these means of remembering Krishna that he gives us, like I am the butter, I am the fire, I am the purifier, I give heat, and so forth. So I just wanted to mention an upcoming thing for devotees. So as some of you may know that Her Grace Urmila Prabhu is speaking a couple weeks from now, and she has a meditation book. So this is not the book that she's written with me, but it's a book she's written with someone else. So this is actually collecting all those things that Krishna gives, like, I'm the heat, I'm the sound in ether, and I'm the taste of water. And there's meditations for each of those things. So so she has many different topics that she talks about. I don't know if she'll talk about that, but if you want, you can ask her about that book when she comes. So that's another book. But regarding your point, your central theme about the confidentiality of knowledge, I thought it would be nice to read a few verses from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote. So he wrote this because he was starting to speak about the confidential reasons for Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and then he was a bit hesitant, like, should this be written down and put in a book for everyone to know? So then in a few verses he's giving the same thing that you're saying, but it's just one after the other, just a few verses. So this is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 4, starting with text 232. অতএব কহি কিছু করিয়া নিগূঢ়, বুঝিবে রসিক ভক্ত, না বুঝিবে মূঢ়. Therefore I shall mention them, revealing only their essence, so that loving devotees will understand them, but fools will not. হৃদয়ে ধরে যে চৈতন্য নিত্যানন্দ এসব সিদ্ধান্তে সে পাইবে আনন্দ. Anyone who is captured by hearing all these transcendental conclusions, এসব সিদ্ধান্ত হয় আম্রের পল্লব, ভক্তগণ কোকিলের সর্বদা বল্লভ. All these conclusions are like the newly grown twigs of a mango tree. They are always pleasing to the devotees, who in this way resemble cuckoo birds. অভক্ত উষ্ট্রের ইথে না হয় প্রবেশ, তবে চিত্তে হয় মোর আনন্দ বিশেষ. The camel-like non-devotees cannot enter into these topics. Therefore there is special jubilation in my heart. যে লাগি কহিতে ভয় সে যদি না জানে, ইহা বই কিবা সুখ আছে ত্রিভুবনে. For fear of them I do not wish to speak, but if they do not understand, then what can be happier in all the three worlds? So here, this Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has said very joyfully and in a very short, clear presentation that he's speaking that which is actually very confidential, because the people who are not meant to understand it will not understand it anyway, the camel-like non-devotees. But it will give a lot of joy to the devotees who are dear to Chaitanya and Nityananda. So I'm praying to all of you, and we can all pray that all of us can become like the devotees and relish this most confidential knowledge. Thanks to Naveen Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mama. Did any other devotees have any questions or?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. I don't have any question. I don't have any question, but I just wanted to thank Naveen Krishna Prabhu for taking time, preparing the notes, and explaining us the difference between confidential, most confidential, more confidential, most confidential. And also I like the point that Prabhu mentioned about Uttama Purusha and Purushottama. So that is very nice. That's something new I learned today. That's very good. And thank you, Rukmini Mataji, for adding more, and giving references from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Appreciate that. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Any other devotees? Prabhu, if I may ask one question, thank you. It was a very detailed. Sorry, Rukmini Mataji, you were asking something, right? What about Maryada Purushottam?
I know somebody will ask this question. So Uttama Purusha is actually Maryada, which is rules and regulations. And here is the combination of Uttama Purusha and Purushottama is Maryada Purushottama. Just because Krishna also acted very piously also. We should give them credit. I'm just kidding. But we're talking about the bifurcation between that to understand the tattva behind it. Of course, at the end of it is the words, but the words also has a meaning, a deeper meaning. So there was no word in Bhagavad Gita as a Maryada Purushottama. But there is two words, Purushottama and Uttama Purusha in Bhagavad Gita. So the scholars actually comment on both of them separately. But my speculation, or maybe my understanding, is that Maryada Purushottama is nothing but the Purushottama, which is a higher, who also exhibited Maryada like Ram as Uttama Purusha in Krishna pastimes also. For example, go ahead, Uncle.
No, I was thinking when Rukmini Mataji put that, I was thinking Purushottama, who exhibited full of Maryada, he's Maryada Purushottama and he's Uttama Purusha. That's how I was taking it.
When Krishna went after the jewel, because when he was blamed for Samantaka's jewel, so he did when they had to prove his innocence. Krishna, do we have to prove his innocence? He never treated. He said, "Do what don't." He's Ranachor. He says, people came to fight when he challenged. He said he fought for 17 times, 18 times. He said, "I'm not going to fight. He just walked away." He said that's exactly opposite to Kshatriya Dharma. Somebody challenged you to stand and fight. He just walked away. There are so many times he broke it, but in this case, he just wanted to prove his innocence. So he went there. Eventually we know he married. What is her name? Jambavati fought with the Jambavan. All those things, pastimes came out of. Yeah. So in that perspective, he did act as Maryada Purushottama. We are talking about the same person, but showing in different shades of reality. Thank you. Go ahead, Ramesh Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. I had only one question. Like I was listening to Shubhavilas Prabhu a couple of days back. So seeing everything in Krishna probably is a little simpler for us, but seeing Krishna in everything, that's kind of next to impossible. Like, that is is this, does that kind of, is it related to what you are trying to mention today? Like, is it kind of the same thing? That's why I just wanted to see. I just wanted to hear comments on that. So
yeah, exactly same thing. So seeing Krishna everywhere and then in everything seeing Krishna is the difference between the inverse nature and non-inverse nature. The person who is purely clear from the Esham Antakatim Papam Jananam Punya Karmanam Dvanda Moha Vinurmuktu, free from the dualities, then that person will become a free. And that's actually real Pandita. You can see everybody equal. And that's where that person can see Krishna everywhere.
Right. And that's
again Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, like in a Kanishthadhikari, you can see only deities in the temple rooms. That's there. Adhikari is there, but it is Kanishthadhikari. Right.
And that state is very difficult to achieve, like seeing Krishna.
It's not impossible. There are so many people have done it in the past. So we only can learn it and at least aspire for it and then try. And then by grace of Guru and Vaishnavas and Krishnas, one day there's a hope.
And is that again connected to that bodily consciousness? Like when you come out of the bodily consciousness, that's when you can get into those kind of states. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that, okay. Thank you, Prabhu. And does anybody have any other questions? But there was, I see Chandra Prabhu, you wanted to add something, Prabhu?
So, I did the other way. Thank you, Naveen Krishna.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Prabhu. Get. You want to add some comments, sir?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, as some couple of quick local announcements. So, first one is, so we have the Ekadashi coming up on, before that, in a couple of days, as you might have seen the email, so we are celebrating the Vyas Puja of His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj. And so this is on the 7th, that's Tuesday, and it will be a Zoom call. And we are really real thanks to Sita Sundar Mataji and Ramtit Prabhu for giving us darshan of the Guru Puja. And then we'll come. So please join in big numbers, and then we can truly celebrate true Vaishnava. And then on the 14th is our Bhagavad Gita appearance. That's Mokshada Ekadasi on Tuesday. So, and so please, again, we'll send the communication by email. And I think these are two local announcements. I know Hari has one book distribution announcement. Before that, I have one other announcement. It's pretty interesting, actually. So I don't know why Naveen Krishna Prabhu, I think in the discourse in one point, he mentioned something, right? Prabhu, just correct me. You said Krishna is in between us in case he shows up in the temple one day, or something like that you were mentioning, right, Prabhu?
The president.
President, no, you mentioned, the president or somebody comes, or somebody that comes to the temple, and that probably has exactly happened today. So we have a lot of prasadam cooked today in the temple, like a normal Sunday feast. I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
No, there's a reason, Prabhu. Today, Sunday feast is sponsored by, partly sponsored, part of the, I'll say, let me take it. So Karthik Prabhu, son is birthday today.
Okay.
So he requested to cook some more. So he invited his friends for take-home boxes.
Okay.
So I spoke to Kamagiri. Yeah.
But looks like we have more boxes also. So if somebody wants to come to the temple and collect boxes.
Yeah, please, whoever can, they can pick it up. But this is his program.
Oh, okay. So there was a little bit complication there. But yeah, we have a lot of prasadam. So that's not like I wanted to make sure if anybody wants to collect prasadam, please call Chanakya Prabhu in temple and come and thank you for clarifying that. Go ahead, Hari. You wanted, go ahead.
Also, right? There might be a lot of reservations of those boxes.
Yeah,
Hari, do
those
we
who
still have
those who
anything left?
invited, yeah, those who invited, he'll make the boxes, but those who walk in, they can also get it because she cooked anyway. So.
Okay. Sure, bro. Hari, you wanted to go ahead with your announcement, please?
Yes. Hare Krishna. Very nice to see all the devotees. I just wanted to make two announcements that if you're interested in getting the instruments, I don't know, I've sent emails about getting instruments from India. If we get a bunch together, it will be a much cheaper price. And I'm getting them from Govinda Prabhu from Vrindavan, who was trained by Indra Prabhu to pick the right instruments. And they're going to come completely insured. So if it breaks during transit, it will be replaced. Today is the last day to make that order. So if you're interested in getting harmoniums, mridangas, kartals, wampers, or basically any Indian instrument, please fill out the Google form that I have emailed out to the group. So it's they're very high quality mridangas and very nice harmoniums. So I'm getting one as well. So it's very nice. I think we have like 10 orders already. So if you want to get in it, you're more than welcome. Now, my second announcement is we are on full swing for our Live to Give campaign, which is another rebranding of the Prabhupada Marathon. As we know, since 1974, this Prabhupada Marathon is a time where devotees all over the world come together, and they make an emphasis on distributing Srila Prabhupada's books widely. And this is the holy month of Gita Jayanti, which is coming on the 14th, right? It's coming on the 14th on Moksha Ekadasi. So it's a very nice time to try to reconnect with the Gita, as we heard from today's class, that even though it may not be confidential in an external sense, it's very confidential in the internal sense. So try to read Srila Prabhupada's books increasingly, try to understand it and share it as much as possible. Columbus's goal, last year we smashed our goal. We had the goal was 250 Bhagavad Gitas last year in 2020, and we got to 520. That was 2020's, and now 2021's goal for Columbus, as we kicked it up to 567 Bhagavad Gitas, and now we're trying to I think we're gonna smash that as well. So some ways that you can participate is you can give Bhagavad Gitas to anyone you know. You can give to your friend, your neighbor, your doctor, your family, anybody you know. You can give a Gita. If you do not have a Bhagavad Gita yourself, which I doubt on this call, you can get a Bhagavad Gita for yourself. That's probably the best gift you can give. And we're making these. I'll just show you these things. We're making these things called Bhakta stacks. Bhakta stacks are a cool way of giving gifts out for Christmas. So this is a Bhakta stack. So I guarantee it'll make you a Bhakta if you read these books. So the books that are in this pack are Bhagavad Gita, Science of Self-Realization, The Higher Taste, and Chant and Be Happy. So so these go for, it costs us about $10. We're giving them out for $10. Yet yesterday on campus, people were getting them for their Christmas. They make great stocking stuffers. So if you want to get a couple of those and give it to people, and also if you may not have time to distribute books or something barring, you can always sponsor books. You can contact me if you would like to sponsor a case or two, and you can and we will distribute the books on your behalf, because there's definitely a lot of people who need books, but they may not be able to afford it because it is difficult times. So we will distribute it on your behalf. And one thing, I just got off a call with His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. They just did a big call, and the goal for the whole world is 2.2 million Bhagavad Gitas in this year. Last year they did 2 million, so this year the whole world wants to do 2.2 million in a span of 1 month. So it's definitely a tough task, but Jayapataka Maharaj was saying that it's definitely doable with great leadership and great innovation. So he encouraged all the devotees to tax their brains. How are we gonna get this goal together? I encourage everybody else to tax your brains and see what way can we get these books into the right hands. If you have any questions about how you want to participate and how you want to help out with this, please, we need all the help we can get. No service is too small. No service is too big. If it's just a matter of writing a letter or sponsoring a case, we would definitely help with that. Please contact me. I think everybody here has my contact. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Hari. In case if there are any questions or any comments.
Yeah, thank you, Hari. It is very inspiring to see that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And yeah, Hari, thank you for trying to spread the book distribution. I think, yeah, I think he's even trying for some unconventional places like what we have not done last year, like lot years before. So let's hope, let's pray to the Lord that he has more success actually in book distribution. Thank you.
Actually, I want to add one thing is that more helpful than anything is please pray for us, those of who are going out, to keep us safe and and please pray that that our book distribution goes well. That's probably, you all are Vaishnavas, so you all are worshipable. So Krishna will definitely answer your prayer. So we're definitely, when we're out there, we're getting we're all at least I can speak for myself, we're dumb lame men, but because we are able to do something by the prayers of the Vaishnavas, we're able to do something. Today we're me and Aiden's like Aiden's like one person that gets looped into all my crazy ideas. Aiden and me are going to Easton and hopefully not get caught by anybody. So we're gonna go to Easton or Polaris and try at the mall there. So yeah, definitely blessings are required. Thank you.
Thank you. So with this, we'll conclude our Sunday feast today.
Prabhu, will there be any reading of the Gita on Gita Jayanti like there was, I think there was last year?
Yes, Manta, I think definitely we will plan for something. I'll keep that email. I'm just waiting for Prem Sindhu Prabhu to come back, and he's expected sometime, I think later this week. So once he's back, we'll plan. So only thing we'll have to see whether we can do it. That's a working day. It's like on 14th. So whether we want to do it on that same day or I think we will definitely have a program on that day or on that weekend, one of those two. But I'll keep you updated once I'm able to talk to Prem Sindhu. So thank you. With this, we'll end this Sunday feast today. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaeva cha paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.